Hello guys and welcome back to my live stream. I know it's a bit, not a bit, a much late live today. Like it's already 6:45. Actually, we have like started live previously, like before like 2-3 minutes ago, and we have to like end the live stream. The reason was that like the live was like lagging, like much lagging. The reason for that was that there were like some issues in OBS, like the way always OBS performs. So that was the reason that I have to like end the live stream again, and now I will like restarted it. And today with me Kaushik has now joined, and we are planning to like end my chat very soon now. And I know we are like doing live after a very long time. There were like some reasons for that, but now we are like again back with the business. So let's start. So Kaushik, can you please introduce yourself? And yeah, this time around like we are having each of both of our like face cam. So that's the improvement.
Yeah. So, hello guys. This is Kaushik. So I was working with Hemish recently, and the sound. I've been working as a dev software engineer for a while now. So I kind of do all of it, web, mobile, and backend. So wanted to try a new app out with Hemish. So here's the
Like
time.
he's
Let's
like
get
he's
started.
someone like you say him to do something, then he will do it. It's like for sure. Like, and even like if you have like any kind of doubts, he will always help. Like he's really great guy. Uh, just wait.
I'm here to help. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's like start. So yep, in previous time, we have completed the logic for like splitting the messages and like getting all of them in the proper models and all that in the proper objects. So as and yep, so everything is like now up and running. And now the sorry for that. Yeah. So now just wait, let me silent it. Yep, great. Yeah. So now we'll be like starting with the part of like getting all of the data. So for that, Kaushik, can you please like start with that?
Let's get
So
started. So one thing I wanted to ask was,
yeah,
you're able to
yeah,
see
yeah,
the
yeah,
VS
yeah,
Code
yeah,
where
yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
right
have
now.
followed you.
Cool. So why don't you walk me down on some stuff that we did last time so that people here also
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah. It will be actually
Um,
yeah. So as you can see, this is the one like sorry. After like you export the like after you export the entire chat, and you get something like this kind of text. The code currently does nothing, like it will be splitting the each line, like for so like it will be splitting, like let's say from this is the part where date occurs, and like all of the metadata is in between these two square brackets. So here is the date, then like here we have the time and so on. So the code will like split it, then like it will like also take the name, date, time, and all of it, and store that in model. Like here is a messages model, which has like a list of message, and message is nothing, like just the model. It has nothing to do with it. So it will be like storing each and everything in the messages model. And here is like the a minor logic which just takes all of the data out and puts them in properly. So and yeah, and the app that we are trying to create is like a statistic application which like shows us the statistics for like the like how we are chatting in WhatsApp in the manner that how many messages I had sent, like then how many messages Kaushik has sent, and so on and so forth. Then also like how many sessions and some kind of like that kind of data. We are trying to represent that, and the kind of input will be the exported chart. So currently I'm running that
hmm.
on simulator so that we can see how it looks, and if possible let me also open its design file if I don't reveal much things because there are many things that I'm planning for future live. which I don't want to reveal now because that won't be like making some great. Always, as always, error always comes. Come on, yeah. What does this error say? Your line position is completed. Oh, yep. So, yeah. And meanwhile, it was saved as chat. That, do you have the design file with you currently?
Let me quickly check. One sec.
Yeah. Why is the yep, we can like see in the that part later on. But first of all, like let's just fix this bug. Why? What is this? It says the render box was not laid out. Where are we using spacers or so? This can be the issue. Constant error again. This kind of here is it a spacer. So actually the error that we were having here that the render box was not laid out. That is like a very not proper way of yeah, here is our design. Yeah. Where should I put it? Do I put it here or here or here?
Can you?
No, because like the face cam will be like obstructed. Like the this guys, I can like edit a live stream now. Put it here and then make it bigger so that everyone can see a great design of application and also like increase the text of this. Yep, much better. Yeah. So here is our current design and the issue that we were having said that like the render box was not laid out. That in proper words it means that there was like it like during the calculation of the entire widget tree that Flutter does to render like where to put each and every widget in that calculation somewhere double dot infinity like infinity number came out. That usually comes when we are like using a row or column and so on, and we are passing size box, expanded, and something like that. And expanded says what that I want maximum amount of space that like it can give, and container like row column what does row and column says that I would give a maximum amount of space that you want, and the like these contradicts each other's words, which gets to the point that like spacer would take in double infinite space, and like if it takes infinite space, then obviously Flutter won't be able to render like make boxes for each and every widget, which like at the end gives us that error. So that was the reason, and I literally commented this for no reason. Let's uncomment it. And yep, here is our yeah, and yeah. So let's now start with the coding part. It's already 6:55, and let me again follow you. Yeah. So as you can see, like we have date, time, and all of that, and in this, like this is the for loop which we are like doing to parse each and every message and so on. And you can actually access each and every one from the message session part, maybe messages.add.
Where is the other parts of the code? I'm just trying to look at this.
Which
Oh,
one?
did I just play it again?
Which one?
Yeah, I found the home screen, I found this, the pages I mean, but I'm not able to find.
In the models,
No,
leave
that's not
slash
what I meant.
models.
So, right, but I can't see anything apart from. So it says my chat, but it doesn't show me any folders there. Just a
Huh?
second.
Why is
Can I
now
see my
live share playing
folder?
with us?
Okay. Yes. Now I have it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I had to go explicitly switch it on from the view. Fine. Um, so you're
return
saying that
messages.
we were at models, and then
Yeah,
we have one home screen dart, and then
wait a moment.
what we're doing is we are saying,
For a
hey, here's
moment.
the string,
Yeah,
pass this to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in models, after like to like just start the enter flow, you need to call message. Like first of all, you need to create a object of class models. Let's create in state and add that part as late messages, and then undefined class because we need to import that. And now let's initiate this after initiate messages dot format messages. So format messages does nothing. It takes the input of message, like input that we are having, like the exported part, and it will be returning us like messages, list of messages, and
List of
message,
messages,
yeah,
right?
and it in, yeah, format message returns us list of message, and message is like a model which has three parts: content, date, time, and sender.
Hmm. Hmm.
uh, and uh, instead of this, let's create this equals to messages. Instead of like doing format message explicit method in which we are passing message, we can like also use constructor now. Yeah, we can
We can do
actually.
that as well. Actually, that's a better point because what we can do then is we can write our analytics as functions here itself.
Let's just do that only. String message. Huh? Let's see. Let's follow the current naming. Fine. Oh, final. And here it goes. Final must be initialized to string isn't trading initialized for the function body, trading a function body. I see. Oh, semicolon. All final variables must be, because I am not passing this dot. Yeah. And now we are using constructor indeed. And instead of like doing in any state, we just need to pass message and that's it. It's now working. No need of this. Yeah. So
We
we
don't have to.
what?
So, but you'll also have to store the messages in the uh, variable as well, right?
Yeah,
So right now
we
you are
are
returning
actually
the
doing.
messages.
If you go to the message, like the please forget the naming. I am just saying it as a string. Actually,
Acha.
we can like rename it to raw message. Yeah. So we are passing it, and upon doing calling raw message,
Hmm.
like messages dot format messages, it will actually return us list of message, and as message, and again input issue, and yeah, as you can see now, like dot format messages will return us list of messages,
Hmm.
and now we need to work with this list of messages to get all of our data.
No. So what I'm saying is, think about this.
Hmm?
So just like you have raw message, right?
Hmm.
How about we also say that there is an array of messages that are also being stored in the instance variable,
Like
right?
format a message, something like that.
So not even format message, you can just say messages, right? Like you have the variable here.
Hmm.
You could literally just pull it up and say, hey, you know what? I have messages as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So as soon as you call the constructor, I pass that on to the formatter,
Hmm. Hmm.
and the messages get populated. The reason I'm saying that is, let's suppose we are in the home screen, right? Why don't you
Hmm.
come
Hmm.
to the
Hmm.
home screen with me?
Let me just
So
open. Yeah.
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 So what we
Continue.
can do is we can say, hey, you know what, messages. And here, what we'll do is we'll say, hey, you know what, we have list of messages. We'll say something like, do you use let here? You don't use let here, right? The
No,
cons,
that
let's say,
doesn't provide
whatever
a
cons. And I'll
cons.
say,
You can use
cons,
let
let's say you
just
want to
use where
say,
now. You can use where var for create. Yeah.
oh, fine. So what I can do is var, and then I'll just say, you know what, number of messages from uh, sender one. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can say messages dot get message count, and then I'll just pass in here. I could say something like sender one, right? Or I could just say get message counts by sender, right? Something like
Mm-hmm.
this. And then what we can do is we can inside of messages itself we can have all the analytic functions, right? And because it also has access to the list of messages, right? So I could just have something here, like let's suppose var a is equal to this, and a would look something like this. It'll have
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, Kaushik and then 250, right? Hemish and then
Mm-hmm.
150, right? Something like this. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we can pass that on to the graph. So, so what we can do is let me. Oh, okay. Give me 1 second. So then what we can do is let's get rid of this first. We'll reuse that later. Save this, and we'll just go back here. So I think what you have to do is you have to just call this, right?
We can
What if I said,
just thinking of better way. Anyway, we'll anyway have to like just call this entire function. So
huh,
instead of making this like an entire method in class, we can like just remove this and just put it inside of constructor so that like it looks
so
much cleaner.
the reason why actually that is much better. I'll tell you why. So because you have a format function, it also means testing that format function gets easier. With this, you have to initialize the class every time, right?
Hmm.
There you can just say, hey, you know what, format message takes this as an input, and then it takes gives out this as an output, and I want to verify that. You get me?
Messages.
So breaking it down into a function might make more sense, right? But this is also fine. This is fine. Let's get something out working, and then we can optimize it a little bit,
Just
right?
just 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 do it. Let me just move this upside a bit of course sanity, but messages isn't. I know, bhai, that I haven't initialized it, and I know that this is list of message. That's it. The code is now error free. What's it saying? Go na, bhai. I don't want you. Yeah. So now actually we are in much more better state. Like we are having, like we are just formatting everything once we pass it in the constructor. And yes, so we have messages there also, and now we have list of messages, and now we are also formatting, and the code is much sanitized. And now, yeah, now we can just like start with the logic part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So here, what I'm trying to say is, key. Let's implement the first function. Okay. We'll do it right here.
We can just say messages from user. It will be easier part. Let's just clear
Yeah, fine.
some easier functions first.
So the only reason I didn't do that is because messages by users sounds like it's the actual messages.
Number of
But
sorry.
what we're so which is why I was thinking of making it a little more clear. So why don't we do this? So
Number of
here
messages,
we'll use
and we
one
can
function.
parameter the username. And it to
Okay.
be returning as integer.
Does it sound good?
Get message by user. We can also
Let me just say.
we can say it as number of messages, and that's it. It to be like actually simple. And we have type in, and here
What
we
is
will be
number of
taking
messages?
input as string user.
No. So this is why I didn't want to do that because you're always dealing with it at an aggregate level, right? So let's
Hmm.
suppose uh, we are talking about Hemish and Kaushik right now,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
But how about we have a chat with Hemish, Kaushik, and Aman? Let's suppose
Hmm.
there's
Hmm.
a third guy,
Hmm.
right? We are not going to call this function 3, 4 times, right? What we
Yeah.
want really is for us to see what the count for each person is,
Hmm.
right? So it makes sense to not take any user as an input,
Oh, got it.
okay?
Yeah, actually it will be
But
better.
uh,
Yeah,
right.
got it.
So rather than int, what we'll be doing is we'll be giving an
A map
object
of
as
string comma dynamic.
right. So do pardon my flutter. We actually don't even need it to be dynamic. We can just say int,
Yeah,
right?
actually because
Because
we have dynamic. Like yeah, that
yeah,
was that always JSON part map. Like whenever map comes, JSON comes.
huh.
So
So
that
let's
was it.
suppose I have a result. Right, right. Pretty. I'm writing Flutter after so long.
Oh.
Okay, so it says dynamic can't be returned. Oh, obviously it can't be returned. Fine.
Done.
So right. Okay. So now let's suppose now what we need to do is we need to go over messages, right?
Hmm. We actually
So
have
let's
that
go
array
through this.
ready for us.
Uh-huh. So we have the array at the top, right?
Yep, messages.
You're talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what we have to do is I'll just write it down in comments. So for each message in messages, right? What we want to do is we want to say if sender for that message is present in the result, then add one more to the count. Okay. Else add the sender to the result object with a count of 0. Okay. Sorry, 1. Okay. So with this, what will happen is by the end, by the time we reach the end, we have a count and then and names, right?
Mhm.
So now you'll have to help me out a lot. So let me
Yeah,
go to
sure.
messages. I think I can do something like a map here. I can't. How do you want me to iterate over this? I
Uh,
don't want to do a typical for
the,
loop.
so yeah, so actually the a better way would
Hmm.
be if we can like if we take input of username, but that would be like
Hmm.
again at like at any other point we need to figure out that what are all of the users that have like talked in the chat. So
Exactly. So you're going to iterate the whole array 3, 4 times,
hmm.
or at least as many times as the number of people are in the conversation.
So for that we
So I don't want to do
can
that.
do something like
Hmm.
we first of all like need to figure out does an array would no we can use set now. Yeah, so that provides us a set which is kind
Hmm.
of a array,
Hmm.
but it like doesn't allow us like the repetition. Hey PMB vlogs, hey Saurabh, welcome to the stream. And yeah, you can actually now see some like live animations in your stream also of the set. Added a few new things
Right.
in the bottom left corner.
Got it. Got it.
Just
So,
wait, let
so what I want
me.
to do
Yeah.
is, so what you're doing with set is what I'm trying to do with result as well.
Uh,
Okay.
mhm,
So, uh, so what I don't I'm not worried about duplicates at all, right? But
mhm,
I want to persist a count against each user. So what will happen is if you call, so we have to iterate over messages at least
yeah,
once,
we have to.
right? The entire array,
Mhm,
right? Now I don't want to do it over and over again, which is why I don't want to support the possibility of a username that you can filter
mhm,
against. Now the second part is because I'm going to iterate over it once, I just have to at every iteration I just have to see if this enter exists. If yes, then add it.
mhm.
That also means that at least what do you call it? Um, so that's what we have to do. So help me out with this. We'll optimize it in a little bit.
Uh,
So let's
so
suppose
I
I
was
want
like
to.
just saying, just wait. We have kind of a hacky way. Let's create a
Uh,
set of string
hmm,
chatters,
hmm,
and we will be like doing messages dot map,
hmm,
and it will be let's
hmm,
say instead of e message
hmm,
and message dot sender we can, and it would be returning us that part. So instead of dot map we can use for each. So what does for it does that it will be like going through each and every message. Yeah,
how understood? Hmm.
and chatters dot add message dot sender and
No,
same
there's a
thing.
problem with this. There's a problem with this. So
Uh,
you're only going to get the sender unique list of senders. You need the count as well, right?
no, like the first thing that we are doing is to just get a list of all the senders that we are having. Like who are
You
all
don't
of
need to do
those?
that at all.
Like who are all of the chatters in a list of message?
You'll get that anyway because of if you're going to do this for each, right? Then you
Hmm.
have to do for each again at the end.
And also that doesn't feels good if we use for each. So it shows that says that we should use for loop itself. So let's go with that only.
So, so let's do this. I'll tell you
Mhm.
what. So let's not iterate over it. If you, I'll tell you what the problem with this is that if you do this right, what will
Mhm.
happen is after chatters add, right? So at this point, you let's suppose this completes this finishes completely. That means you have chatters object,
Mhm.
chatters set, and it has all the names of the people
Yeah,
who
yeah,
are
yeah.
participating in this chat, right?
Mm.
But now you need a count as well. So are you going to iterate over it again?
Yeah, that is actually a thing. Because like again
right?
doing
So
dot
which is
map would
why
again like just do that only.
exactly, which is what I'm saying. So all you have to do is here you need an if condition, okay, and an else condition,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah.
In this if condition, all you have to do is, so do you want to also, rather than mar, do I have to do this so that I
Uh,
get the
yeah,
sufficient
yeah,
sum or
it
else inside of it,
autocomplete becomes better. Nothing else.
right?
Message dot
Oh, here it is. So I have message dot sender,
yeah.
okay.
If that
So even
sender
before this, let's just say
boolean condition. Are you there? Hey, are you there?
sender name is equal
Yeah,
to,
back.
yeah, I'm there,
There was some kind of lag. So
right?
standard name, yep.
Oh, my internet keeps getting disconnected
Yeah,
sometimes.
null shifty exclamation.
Okay.
Nothing big thing. No, actually, like
So
always, like become very tedious to just add exclamation everywhere. We
how do I write
can
a boolean?
bool.
How do I write a bool? Is this bool, right? So let's say bool is sender present in result. Okay.
Mhm.
And here we'll just say if can I how do I check if this object has this key or not? Do I do
Instead of
result
checking,
dot
we can
has
is let me check result dot.
oh here it is contains key.
Yep, great. Contains key sender
Say
name.
is sender present in result? If yes, what we'll do is we'll say
Result of
uh,
that user plus equals to that.
right. Huh. So here you have to say message. Oh, wait. Message of,
Message of
sorry, my bad. So from result, I need a key, right? So this is how
yeah,
I
it
want to
to
do
be
this, right?
sender name, and we will like just using plus equals to
Right?
add that
So
again. We actually don't, we won't be needing
current,
that.
right? No, I'm just making it more verbose, that's it. So
Mm-hmm.
why does this error out? Oh,
Exclamation
okay.
null shift.
I keep doing this.
Always null shifty. If there is error, 99% to be null shifty. It's certain.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'll do is, can I also get the index for this? Because what I want to do is now I want to replace this item, right? Because okay, I can just
Why we
say,
want
so
to
you're saying I
why
can
we
just say,
yeah.
so you're saying count plus one. I can just do this, right?
Actually, there will be like a much simple way to let me like just
Hmm.
go that part. Result sender plus equals
Hmm.
to this part again.
We can do that as well.
That's it done. Illegal assignment.
No, no. Plus equal to will plus equal to. Why would you do plus equal to
Non-assignable.
the same thing? If there is five, if there is five, it will do plus equal to five. That will be 10. Here you don't need
Plus one.
this.
Plus equals to
You
no.
just have to do this. Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Or we can actually just do plus plus. No, no, that doesn't like that. Illegal
Right?
assignment, non-assignable expression.
So which is why it's easier. Plus can be automated because the receiver can be null. So it's fine. We can look at make the
No,
code
no,
smaller.
no, no. Actually, I'm done with the. Let me just make all of them non-nullable. That's it. Why in the first place did I make them nullable? That's the first question. Now we can do that.
But the point is, it is fair though. It's fair though. So what I want you
No,
to understand is,
just
so
think. Let's say that I am creating a message instance, and so that message must like all must contain like sender's name. It's the must part. Date and time is also must.
it can be must. What I'm talking to you about is in the context of this function, whoever is reading this function, right? Number of messages, right?
Yeah.
They don't know
But
what's in this.
readability it is better.
Huh. just for that. So when somebody is reading, they'll go, acha, for message, acha, each message, acha, there is a sender, which is a string name, acha, okay, fine. They're comparing against this, okay,
But
they're
this
then giving the
actually just doesn't seem good to me, like, because like everyone is
why.
just like okay with plus equals one or plus plus. Everyone is like okay with that. So that's the only part.
So I'm saying you
For
can.
me actually, this looks good.
So
If
which is
it
I'm telling you
works,
that uh, what most people understand is what we have to consider, but this doesn't matter that much. So you can just
yeah.
remove this as well.
And why does it like give error? I can't. Missing selector success dot identifier dot identifier. Result of sender name string message dot sender name. Wait. Dot entries add all add. We can just use add now. Dot add entries
How? Why would you add an entry?
because
What does add entries do?
so it takes sender name comma and the count.
Oh, you have to do an iterable this thing for each map entry of the iterable. Okay, fine.
Wait, still why does it not allow me? I have made message a non-nullable. So these all why it
Hamish, let's
no
let's go with the
actually
code we have, the two lines.
no but why doesn't like
See,
the tag map entry string command dynamic and let it be enough of it. No, like null shift is like always makes me drive crazy. Result of sender
right.
name equals to 1.
Okay.
We'll actually
So if you
just
do this,
it would actually make maybe return error this part. Maybe I think so.
why?
Because
Why?
currently there won't be any entry with the sender name in the map.
Right. True. So here maybe it makes more sense to say um,
Is there any way
it
to add
shouldn't.
any? No, actually using equals to with map doesn't like looks good maybe. We can use add all. Yeah, we can use add
Add
all.
on doesn't make sense.
It allows to add multiple entries and there is nothing like add
Okay.
and it takes map of string command int and let me see its definition. Mercury and
It says the argument type set object can't be assigned to the parameter type map string int.
because there needs to be colon, nothing else. Fixed.
Hmm. Okay. So this should do that trick for us. Why don't you run this in C once?
And just for a moment, this should be better. And
Shouldn't there be a result.add as well?
nope,
Why do
there
I have
isn't.
to
There
do add
isn't. I
on?
will check. Also, we can here decrease the code duplicate because we are making code duplicate a lot.
So one by one. So Hemish, what happens is even before you put into the effort of fixing the or refactoring this, right? First you have to know that
Mhm.
it works.
Just
See,
wait. Else count equals to else count will be 1.
then this will error out, right? Because you don't have a sender name in the beginning.
We have now from here.
That'll be empty.
It won't be. This is just a if else condition. I'm telling that.
No, I'm telling you that in result, sender name won't be there. So it comes to Hemish first. There is nothing in result, so it is going to error out here.
Yeah.
So which is what I'm telling you, don't refactor before you know that the function works. Okay. Let's first test out that the whole thing works, and then you can see where the patterns lie as to where you want to optimize, right?
Actually, we can fix that. And this will be a yep. And there is no need of that. And that's it. All is fixed now.
But you don't need count at all, right? Then
Why? We are checking if
because it's one here, it's one here. You don't
which
need
one.
count variable at all, right?
No, actually, we are just like changing count
Acha,
variable
you're
here.
saying that's fine. Okay. Why don't you run this and see why does it say the body might complete normally, causing null to be returned by the return type.
Fixed. Because we were returning inside of for loop, which will always absolutely crash the entire app.
Acha, acha. Right. Okay. Why don't you run this? So how would you know that this works, right? So why don't you go to home screen and you'll have to call this now,
Yeah.
right? And the next thing is you probably have this count thing already here, right? Why don't we replace this as well?
Which one? Let's just first of all like check this. For checking, the best part is to print it. This print statements and
Nice.
debugger.
Hmm.
Little hot restart would get us, and here we are using dot number of I'm my battery. It will be map. Let's just see. And now we just writing a very worstful because everything is temporary. So let's say temporary. Actually, I'm putting in the main screen, home screen. Yeah.
Hmm.
Hold on, option to switch editor language. Nope. It is giving us empty. Returns empty map. The code is not
Why
working.
though? Hmm.
Let's go to here and check if it is actually doing all of that. We have this
First thing
can
to check is if
huh?
huh?
Aren't we just calling the function number of messages for messaging this? Why hasn't this single part has just debugged? Oh, got it, yeah. And directly, why the so it is like just keeping the enter for loop. Why?
So that means did you check if messages is populated or not?
No, it is like keeping enter for loop.
Yeah, because so I'm saying messages array that you have,
Hmm.
does it have messages at all?
It should.
It will skip the for loop if it doesn't.
Oh yeah, and it is not having a what has made it to go that way. Yep, that's actually a point. The entire array is wait. Data size boundaries. here we are passing empty array, and then
Yeah,
again
but you have to set it to that, right? So
actually
you have
this
to set messages to this, right? But that is not happening.
actually yeah, maybe this should have been fixed now. Let us hope so. And yeah,
No.
we have that.
Okay.
Actually, the issue was if you go to the like the constructor, and in constructor we were like again
Hmm.
defining a variable called messages,
Hmm.
and like constructor was like modifying this, like it was like modifying this variable instead of doing this, and due to which the entire part was getting empty. But now it
Right, but
is
uh-huh.
yeah. But now this should be fixed, and let us keep it to the temporary part. And Hamish has 8 messages, Kaushik has 2 messages. Let's verify this manually. Eh? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, my bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2. Yep, got it. It is working.
Right?
That's
So
done.
why do you go ahead and integrate into the UI? So we'll have the message counts.
Yeah, number of messages now.
Yeah.
So, this is working. Let's remove this all again. And number of
Now you have to
messages.
be now you have to be smart about this though, because you should iterate on the
Yeah,
object keys for it, right?
for no, we can't just use for loop. No, we actually have to create a variable for that. Map of string comma integer, and it is in. Maybe this won't be able to. Let's just complete it for now. And what should we name this variable? Message count equals to
Hmm.
to make access with oh, because I know the reason. Let now we'll be actually using init and should not have double equals, and that's it. Now we just need to iterate it, and we have got it. And where is it? Where is it? Where is yep, here is the message count. Message count dot for each uh, can we just use dot keys to get the keys, and then dot for each to be name. Actually iterating with like array is much simpler than
Hmm.
iterating with like that part.
You can do that as well, but it's just that your function will become bigger
No,
because you have to search for the
In
names.
UI it doesn't look good in UI part
Or
because a map doesn't provide us that dot for each. Sorry, dot map, because this itself is a map, and why would it like just or do it? Message count.
I didn't get
Message count dot cast map. Yep,
map.
map
Map should be
can
available,
dot to list. It allows me so
bro.
there should be some kind of ultra great thing that I do. Why can't I just convert it to list?
Let me just do that.
And isn't the map of interactive closure content the thing that I was expecting? Return type isn't a map of entry required by closure content method. Tool list isn't defined for the type map. Tool list is not defined. And this is also map is does not look good. Here will be key. Let's say here will be value.
Count. No, that. Why do you have also
Oh,
count here?
sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
The return of message count is an entry required by the closure content. So dot map, what does it require? Converts. It converts a map into another type of map. So we must return the type of map itself, and we are returning a widget. It's not like the list that provides like list.map. Here we can pass
But, but
anything.
but it is much cleaner if you just do this not in the view part of the code.
Actually, now it's actually like getting a bit late for me. Like we tomorrow we can like continue with this part now. Like to integrate this with
Huh.
UI. And meanwhile, I will also check why the Flutter does not allow to use maps in a better way. Actually, it allows us to use maps, but in a better way.
Right, we can do that. That shouldn't be an issue. And I think one more thing we can do is you can just put in the length here. I think we have total number of messages. So that should just be messages.
Yeah, we can like continue with this tomorrow. So tomorrow, when will you be free?
I'll check once. Being Monday, it might be a little bit difficult, but
Yeah, sure.
that's fine. We'll figure out it.
Yeah, I will later
Probably
ping you.
later in the night.
So guys, 99% tomorrow we will continue with this. If Kaushik is available, of course. So tomorrow we will again like continue with this live stream. So let's see you tomorrow again. Thank you.